J.J. Watt has been released by the Houston Texans after 10 years with the team. And so, this now begins the bidding war for J.J. Watt. And of course, the Green Bay Packers are throwing their hat in the ring. And taking a look at our cap space, we can offer him $1. Grossi Packer Nation! Welcome to another episode of Podcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. I wish cap space wasn't real like the Chiefs, Grossi. And yes, breaking news that J.J. Watt has been released by the Houston Texans, asking for a release, and it was granted to him. And Deshaun Watson just stares and goes, "You son of a bitch." So obviously the Texans franchise is doing real well. Obviously losing DeAndre Hopkins, then Jadeveon Clowney, now J.J. Watt. And, you know, their franchise QB also wants to get the hell out of Houston. Things are great. It's essentially the dog meme where everything is on fire and they're just going, this is fine. This is fine. So apparently Watt sat down with owner Cal McNair and just flat out asked for a release. And you might be wondering, okay, well, why isn't Watson getting that same treatment? And he's asking to be traded. And honestly, the big difference is the fact that the Houston Texans are now going to save $17.5 million this coming season. With Watson, yeah, no, they ain't going to be saving any money. They lose a franchise QB. It's just a no for them all around, which is why I made a video earlier saying that, honestly, it's going to take a team like the Jets to trade like 4 first-round picks to actually make it viable for the Texans, because, I mean, what they're doing in Houston right now, I don't even consider a rebuild. It's just, they're lighting themselves on fire. Watt, obviously drafted in 2011, is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, has 101 career sacks, and that's 31st of all time. And with J.J. Watt, you look at his career from 2011 to 2015, in which he played all 16 games for all of those seasons. He did really well. However, from the 2016 season up until this season, he's only been playing 2 full seasons because of injuries. And look, J.J. Watt is not the dominant player that he used to be. The guy is 31 years old and has suffered a number of injuries, but he's still a damn good player. In 2020, had an interception, 7 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 1 recovered, 5 sacks, 52 combined tackles, and 17 QB hits. So the guy can obviously still play. And at this point, J.J. Watt is free to sign with absolutely anybody. He was actually supposed to be an unrestricted free agent in 2022, but he just wanted to bow out a little bit early, and I can't really say that I blame him for that. And J.J. Watt came out with a video message basically thanking Houston. He has done so much for that city and that community, and his legacy is definitely going to be entrenched in Houston, and I'm sure they're going to wind up retiring his number by the time things are all said and done. He also acknowledged that he doesn't have a ton of time left. And so because of that, my man wants a ring. And so now the frenzy of the media is going to be, where the hell is J.J. Watt going to go? Obvious answers look at Pittsburgh, right, to reunite with his brother, T.J. Watt, and they also need some defensive line help. However, their cap isn't looking so good. The Green Bay Packers are going to come up in conversation. They need defensive line help badly. Kenny Clark is like, please God, come here. He's a Wisconsin boy. It's your hometown, JJ. However, we have no cap space. We can't even re-sign all of our guys who are going to be free agents. So that's a potential problem. So basically any team that wants to fortify their defensive line, they're going to call up J.J. Watt. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to take a veteran's minimum to try and go get a championship. I mean, oh God, he's not going to go to the Buccaneers, is he? Because at this point, he's had a lucrative career. I think he just wants to chase the one thing that has eluded him, and that's a championship ring. So we'll see what teams actually can, 1, afford him, and 2, which ones are actually contenders to actually win it all. So, J.J. Watt, listen, buddy, like $1. We have so many good things in Wisconsin. We have cheese and cheese. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Where do you think JJ is going to wind up? Do you think the Packers could somehow pull some cap voodoo? Let me know what you think. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or TomGrossiComedy on all social media. See down below. Check out podcasts on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course YouTube. And a big shout and thank you to all the patrons over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy and the YouTube members. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.